Now, you would probably think blowing up as an artist early in your career is pretty good, as some artists will take over 4 to 5 years to even get some recognition. And with this, it really shows that you might have a lot of potential to be really impactful to the whole music scene. But I'm not gonna ignore blowing up too fast, you can also fall off just as quickly. A prime example is Ian. This guy was on a rise in 2024. His songs were popping on TikTok. He had all the TikTok girls dancing to his music. And nowadays, I generally don't know where bro's at. Like generally, Nespin gets talked about more, and he has totally forgotten that he's even an artist this year. That has really told you enough. And I feel like when you start blowing up as an artist, you really have this expectation that you have to, you know, put out really good music because new eyes are on you now. And I feel like a lot of new artists that blow up early really fail this because they just produce the same type of music that got them up without really doing any evolution to their sound because they're scared, you know, they'll lose their fan base if they switch their sound. But we're gonna look at artists that I feel like really blew up really fast, and I feel like this totally ruined their whole career. Now, a prime example right now is SD Kid. Now, I'm not gonna be one of these TikTok bots and say, oh, his music is worse than Too Slimy, because his music is actually listenable. You know, it's not that bad compared to Too Slimy, where my ears feel like they want to come off my head as soon as I listen to 5 seconds of his song. All that hoo and hollering in my ear, bro. Turn that off. Like, let's really be honest with ourselves. He is not on that level of ass music. And I feel like what really brought this narrative is how fast he blew up and his fan base with it. And the TikToks that these SD fans be making about him gotta be one of the most corniest TikToks I ever seen in my 32 years of living.
About me passion, music, money and fashion. These sandals, crazy horse. All men deep in this German. Walk in the room and cause panic.
Like, you cannot be dead ass. And this is not satire, by the way. This is not. And I truly wish it got better from here, but it only gets worse. Which I can't even get that much clips of actual fans because a lot of it is satire now because he's basically a meme now. Yeah, I'm not about to get copyright for this shitty video, so just watch this with no sound. Now I'll say this, bumping this guy's music in present time is damn near impossible, cause I deadass feel like a fully brain rotted kid listening to it, which I'm not even that far from being that. I might need to put him in some of my playlists. But all just aside, SD Kid is really an example of when you blow up way too fast and you don't really have a core fan base. You end up attracting these type of fans. But in terms of his sound, it's still pretty early. Like, he started blowing up in around November. It'll take some time to see how he really keep up with the industry he's in with his music. You know, there's a good chance SD Kid will be talked about for the next couple of years, and there's a good chance that he will not. It's really just up to the route he wants to go with his music. Another example has to be Laserdisc. Again, when you gain an audience so fast, it's so easy to lose them because, you know, they're new. They're not loyal to you. And at the time, he had a pretty unique flow. You know, his sound was pretty original, but he definitely capitalized on this sound, but he didn't really do any more evolution with it, which is why he kind of fell off. Which, if he had more gradual growth, like someone like Osama-san or Che, he would have known to evolve the sound so it doesn't end up getting boring. Like, I guarantee 100% if Che stuck with the same sound he got when he blew up, which was Agenda, which if he stuck with this sound and didn't evolve at all, and we didn't get closed captions and Say So Says, he probably would have been in the same boat as Cash on Me, which he fell off. Another major thing that happens, especially when you blow up fast, is allegations. Whether the allegation is something diabolical or something just mainly out of jealousy, it can be something very damaging to your career if it's not handled correctly. And it's really bound to happen even if you're pretty innocent. Like, when Ian really started blowing up, there's a lot of allegations of him being an industry plant. When you blow up that fast, there's literally no way to escape some sort of allegations coming your way. And don't even get me started on SD Kid, you know, being Timothy. You know, they generally might be the same person. But you even see this with Nine Vicious. Even though he's not as popular, you know, as soon as he started blowing up in the underground, he started getting some crazy allegations. So I feel like when anyone really blows up, they're prone to get some allegations. But when that you blow up overnight, you know, I feel like it's really inevitable that it's going to happen. Like, it really does 2 times the chance when you blow up fast. Another thing, when an artist blows up, I feel like they lose all their passion and motivation for their music. You know, some of them have that mindset that, you know, I'm already up, why improve? This mindset kills their hunger that got them there in the first place. And you low-key see this a lot, especially with some one-hit wonders. But one of the saddest cases of this incident has to be Can, as this guy was dropping bangers up to 2021, and after that, he just totally lost his passion for, you know, music. This guy really just got his bread and just left his whole fan base. And I feel like if Can's growth in 2021 wasn't as explosive, he would be making more music, you know, over the past couple of years, because he's still hungry to blow up, you know, and make more money. You know, if TikTok thing is this, we would have had a hungry Can for a bit longer. But unfortunately, he wants to bring all his music to a halt after 2021. Another thing, when an artist blows up fast, their discography is usually pretty small, which nowadays a lot of artists kind of blow up from a song on TikTok or Twitter without really having an album or a full discography in their name. You know, and now suddenly they need to start making albums, need to start doing interviews. It's just so much harder and more pressure. And some fans come to realize that, oh, it was only that one viral song that was actually good. Which I have some examples, but I'm not gonna say them because y'all might actually attack me. But hate him or love him, a good example of someone that really built off having a small discography when blowing up has to be Nesman, which all this guy really had when he blew up was We Not Like You, Drink, and Shine in Peace, which I would say these are one of his best songs still, which he still built a pretty strong discography back in 2024 with his album Badass Freaking Kid, and he's done a lot of other collabs with other different, you know, underground artists. But even when you're doing everything right as an artist that just started blowing up, people are still gonna say you fell off because you weren't at the same heights you were when you just blew up. Even though the artist is still pretty known, has some traction to her name. Which I recognize you could argue this with Ian and Laserdisc, but in my eyes, they just fell off. But let me know what you guys think. And overall, when an artist blows up, I feel like they're generally just not ready for the fame they're getting. They end up just signing to horrible contracts and just killing their career by themselves. And I feel like this is what happened to Sofago when he really started blowing up and signed to Cactus Jack. Which it helped Sofago later on because he got on Jack Boys, but when he first got signed, his label was basically holding him back just to drop this horrible album that's littered with unnecessary features that we did not ask for. And another artist not being able to handle, you know, blowing up fast has to be Clappers, which this guy fell off so hard you generally probably have no clue who this is, but this song's gonna remind you.
She giving me knowledge, shawty real fine and she got a college.
Which this music video has 50 million views, chat. Now after that rise, I'm gonna let you guys guess, how much do you think his newest song, you know, that just came out a couple weeks ago got? Yeah, did that surprise anybody? You know, was it higher than you thought? Was it lower than you thought? So him really blowing up from that one song didn't help his career at all. But that is all I have for this video. You know, and I noticed I've been absent, you know, for 3 weeks. You know, I've been very busy over the past couple weeks, you know. Also do want to say I really do appreciate every single one of y'all. You know, this is the anniversary of this channel. I've been on this for a year and I did not think it would be, you know, reach where it is now. Like then my original goal with this channel was the first year I was going to reach 1K, which we've surpassed that by 3. So I really do want to say I mess with all y'all. You know, I wasn't really in a really good mind space when I first made this channel. You know, I just wanted a community to talk to. But the goal next year is definitely going to be, you know, surpassing 10K. And eventually we're going to get that YouTube plaque, you know. Only time will tell. But that's all I got to say. You know, I appreciate all y'all. And I'm gone.
Do this shit because I chose. You see me and then he froze you. Hey, I'm in the game, but for the rest. Black boy for that vest. Yo, say that I'm out there, she